Hey everyone, Meteorologist Sabrina Bates on your Saturday, January 20th, hopping on Facebook here before our 10 o'clock news to sort of give you a heads up of what I'm going to be talking about here with the weather and why you should probably tune in to get, of course, a more detailed forecast. 5+5 day, all of that. I'm going to wait a few seconds here for more people to hop on. I know this is a forecast that a lot of people really want to know because we're talking about freezing rain chances. And of course, here in Oklahoma, that means ice for us. Now, I'm someone who loves the cold. I love the snow, but I think I could speak for everyone who loves the cold and snow. We don't really like the ice. No one really likes the freezing rain or ice. It just makes it so difficult outside. Now, I think for most of us here in Oklahoma, we're not too concerned about power outages. There will be some areas that I will be more focused on for at least intermittent power outages where they may go in and out, stuff like that. We'll break down the areas that have a better chance of that, but really because we had that Arctic cold air that was here last weekend, now, this weekend, the ground is so cold. We knew that even when we got the snow a couple days ago, it made it slick outside. So even a very thin glaze of ice will cause impacts on the roadways. Sometimes it doesn't always, but a thin glaze of ice will this time around. I'm talking about bridges, I'm talking about overpasses, and stuff like that. I know a lot of people wondering about timing, so let's walk through that here. We're going to be fine up until about tomorrow evening. Now, some latest data coming in over the last few hours actually has this sped up more. So I'm expecting by about 3-4 o'clock, we could start to actually see some very light drizzle moving up into south central and to central Oklahoma. I know what you're thinking, maybe the light drizzle may not be a big of an impact, but actually a lot of times with this frozen precipitation in the winter, your drizzle is going to be more impactful or even the same as a freezing rain. Well, why is that? That drizzle, it's just falling down enough that once it hits the surface, it causes that ice to form and it freezes right away. A lot of times when we get freezing rain, you're talking about heavy torrential rain. It is coming down so heavy. It's not get into the whole science of it. It actually stays as rain at first. After the rain ends, it will freeze. But at that moment, a lot of times it just comes down as rain, even though our temperatures could be in the 20s. That drizzle, though, that is going to cause that instant freeze. So because of that, I'm talking about the main key thing I want everyone to watch. Once we start getting this frozen precipitation to begin, it is not going to take long for our roads and our bridges to become slick. Because the ground has been so cold, and especially with that freezing drizzle, it just has that likelihood for it to instantly freeze and cause those slick spots. I know, something no one wants to hear. So we're looking at as early as 3-4 o'clock of this drizzle, but I'm especially watching 5-6 o'clock on your Sunday. This will move on up into central, eastern Oklahoma, and the coverage will increase overnight. It will get heavier. The roads will get more slick as we go overnight. So your biggest impact is going to be Monday morning commute because those temperatures, they're still going to be below freezing. I'd expect this freezing rain and drizzle to continue until about late morning. There's going to be a period, late part of the morning, where that temperature tries to climb above 32. Once it does that, we'll get it just rain. The reason we have that freezing rain is it is super cold up in the clouds. We get the snow to fall, but there's actually a warmer layer in the middle part of the atmosphere, so it starts to melt, but because we're so cold near the surface, once it goes back into that colder air, it instantly freezes. So if we get that warmer air near the surface, we get that snow to fall, it melts, it's fallen as rain, and instead of instantly freezes, it just continues on as that rain. So that's why we need that temperature to warm up. It'll be a cold rain by tomorrow afternoon, but you're not looking at that immediate impact. Of course, we get into Monday evening commute and we turn into Tuesday. We'll have to see about those roads still looking pretty slick. So here's your chances for tomorrow. You're looking at 5 p.m. to midnight here. Best chance south central Oklahoma. Your chances farther north and west are looking a bit more slim. South central Oklahoma has the better chance, at least for tomorrow evening. As we go overnight, that is going to increase. You're looking at Monday morning. You're looking at better chances for the OKC Metro, Seminole, McAllister, Ada, all of that. And by the time that we get towards your Monday afternoon, we are looking at some just rain. Something I think that is especially helpful to kind of understand, I think I saw a question even with this as well, where we have this winter storm watch. That's in blue here. That includes Ada, Seminole, Hughes County, so Holdenville, McAllister, over towards Salisaw, Fort Smith over in Arkansas, all of that. So that entire blue swath are areas where we're looking at a few tenths of an inch. Now, the National Weather Service has told us, because of the latest model runs actually showing better chances of heavier ice accumulation and being sped up in time, they likely are going to issue and turn this watch into a warning overnight for tonight. So areas that are in this watch/warning have a better chance of impacts, not only slick roads, but also minor accumulation on trees, those elevated surfaces. Power outages become a bit more likely in these areas. Usually when you get over a quarter of an inch of ice, you start to have more of those power flashes, those power outages intermittently, depending on, of course, where you are at. It will be breezy tomorrow, not excessively windy, but it will be breezy, of course. So those areas, Seminole, Hughes County, McAllister, Ada to Fort Smith, those are the main areas I'm watching, especially for better ice accumulation, better chance for power outages. Overall, it's still pretty low. But the National Weather Service has also said they will likely expand this, create an advisory essentially because of that glaze to about a tenth of an inch of ice towards the OKC Metro and other areas that will likely be seeing that ice as well. So biggest impacts that I'm looking at here, bridges, roads. I know a lot of people asking about schools for Monday. I think it really depends on where you are. That's why I have it as a medium. If you're in an area that is going to be getting the slick roads, you know, your chances are going to look a little bit better to be out of school. Power outages for central Oklahoma are looking pretty low. Overall, when we look at ice accumulation, much of us are just going to be seeing a glaze of ice up to about a tenth of an inch. A tenth of an inch is only going to create slick roads, slick bridges. Not necessarily power outages, but still it's going to cause impacts on the roads where you may be driving just fine. All of a sudden you hit an area of black ice, it's slick, and you may spin out or something. So that's why I'm mentioning even this glaze to about a tenth of an inch. It's so cold on the ground. Anything will instantly freeze. Could cause some issues on the roads, especially areas that aren't treated. I know just driving around OKC today, a lot of areas have actually been treated. We'll have to see if that helps with our roads, considering it's coming down as freezing rain and drizzle. We'll have to see, but roads that are treated are going to be somewhat better. It's just, again, we have to watch for that slick spots with the glaze to about a tenth of an inch of ice. Now, areas in red here, up to about a quarter of an inch, those are areas that could have more problems with power outages, more dangerous travel, all of that. So I know a lot of people are asking so many questions. I know there's so much going on here. Be sure to tune into KOCO coming up at 10 o'clock. We'll be on in about a minute or two. You can watch on your TV, Channel 5, ABC, or on your KOCO weather app. I'll break down more of these graphics, show you the 5+5 day, because really this ice impact isn't going to be lasting really for too much longer, so past Monday. So be sure to tune into KOCO then. We'll break down more of the forecasts here, the timing of it, of all of those details. It'll be coming up here in just a few minutes. Hope to see you over there. And I'll be back here on Facebook and on KOCO tomorrow night to explain more of the impacts we're going to be seeing.